Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Virche Evermore. We're going to start Cyan's route today. Well, his tragic part of his route, anyway. Fair warning, I've had a day, so if anything bad happens in like the first couple of episodes, depending on how much I get through recording today, am I going to record the first part? Am I going to record the first and second? I don't know. I might sob hysterically, because I'm just in that mode where, like, if I sneeze right now, I'm gonna sob. It's been that kind of day, so this is probably not the game to be playing, but, my option was record and try to forget everything or curl up in a ball downstairs and cry more, so, here's what we're doing. It's work. Work sucks. I'm just gonna tell you. I spent a year working my ass off to get a promotion that it was just like, yeah, you're okay. Pat on head, that's it. Okay, awesome. So I didn't get the promotion that I've been working for, and I just feel undervalued, underappreciated, and like, why am I even trying? And just feel completely invalidated and like useless now. It's a really great way to feel. So, anyway, we're gonna start science route, so I just might cry a lot because I'm just an emotional mess. So, good times! Awesome! Let's just listen. We get to see Cyan. I get to look at his beautiful face, so maybe everything will be okay with that. I need this escapism. I need the escapism from my trauma back into a game of trauma. Awesome. Hey, it's somebody else's trauma. Sure, whatever. Anyway, so I've loaded up our save file 3. We go out into the garden. We've already seen this. So as much as I want to stare at Cyan's beautiful face more, we've already read it. There he is. That's all I need. Ugh. You know what? I feel a little better. Lucas, even though you're stabby and everything, I still love you too. It's fine. I am okay. I'm not okay. Poor Lucas. Poor Lucas. Poor Cyan. Lucas killed him. Jesus. At least you won't maybe die in this one. Oh, all of our drunk friends. All our drunk idiots. Cute. I love our drunk idiots. I know this game is like trauma, but to be fair, like, for most of it until, like, we get to the trauma, like, God, our little chuckle fucks make me laugh, and I love them so much. That's probably what makes the trauma more traumatic, huh? If you were just like, oh yeah, no, the game's fine, yeah, oh, everybody died, oh, that's too bad. It wouldn't be as, like, hard-hitting as now when you're like, Lucas, I love you, but why did you kill Cyan and you almost killed everyone else? You killed Hugo. I don't know, man, Man, I'm glad I didn't record that part on a day like today, because I would have lost it. I mean, I was there. The tears were there. My eyes like, oh, did he actually kill everyone? Okay, they're not all dead, just Hugo. Alright, I guess it's okay. Poor Hugo. Knew he was gonna fucking die. I'm expecting him to die, Sorry if I'm sniffling, but, like, my nose is, like, going crazy, because I cried for, like, 3 hours today. My face hurts right now. Oh, God. Usually, like, TMI, but, like, usually, like, before you get your period, you become an emotional mess, and you're like, it's Tuesday! And you're dramatic and you cry about stupid shit. Mine's, like, happening for some reason after. Because I'm way more emotional right now than I was the week before. So. Ah! There's our beautiful bastard. Start science story. Fuck yes! Oh. I'm not even gonna ask what's on your tongue, boy. Put it back in your mouth. Again, I don't remember who tells these things, so I'm just gonna read it normal. It's probably Anko, but there was a traveler wearing exotic clothes. The man who met him pleaded for the power and technology to save the people. The traveler regretted it later, thinking that he shouldn't have taught the man the true way of life. The traveler ran in fear. I ask that you realize you've gone astray before you create demons using the book I gave you. Or else one day, from your very blood you will bear a demon without a human soul. I mean, okay, this is kind of very topical to, like, what Lucas's route was. Like, you're gonna create demons. But this, and obviously the traveler wearing foreign clothes or whatever, that's the, whatever, what's his name? He's not the traveler, but he's basically, the guy that brought all the books, and then that's where Cyan's grandpa got the book, and then whatever, and then this from your blood, grandpa, a demon without a human soul. Are we talking about Cyan? Because, shit, a little harsh to say that about him right now. But I feel like that's who we're talking about, because it's his route, so I mean, logical conclusion. See, I can do math when it's presented in front of me. Who's saying headgear on? Extracting current memories from frontal... Oh, you know what? It's probably a... computer. Headgear on. Extracting current memories from frontal lobe. Initiating backup system. It sounds like it would be a computer. Success. Initiated clone body culturing using existing somatic cells. Constructing heart for memory installation, because otherwise it would say Cyan. Defense system added to heart. Initiating installation of backup data to brain. Success. Difference from original confirmed at 0%. Initiated clone sequence. I see. Then this version of me is obsolete. And then again, I should confirm just in case. I can discard you, right, Cyan Brofis? Yeah, suit yourself. I want to get rid of this deteriorating body, too. Very well, then. Did Cyan just stab himself? We get a CG right off the... Oh, hot. What the fuck? Okay. Cyan just like splashing his skin, because I didn't notice until seeing the CG again, not in the game, but elsewhere, and I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. The first CG we get of Cyan when you first meet him, whatever, I'm like, you're showing a little bit of skin there. Is that a little bit of hip skin? What? Because you just see him, like, lounging, but if you look past, and I didn't notice it. Did you notice it? Bitches, he's flashing some skin. Excuse me, whore. It just gave me flashbacks to, like, Van Helsing's butt cheeks. You know what I mean? When you're like, oh, was that a butt crack? But, like, thinking of that one and now this one, like, sir, you really just, like, are all your CGs going to be flashing us some skin? Because I'm okay with this. I could use this in my life, you flirty, dirty little whore. God, I love him. We haven't even gotten very far, but listen, he's beautiful and distracting. And the fact that he just murdered himself. Interesting. And with my former body's consent, I killed it after my experiment, wiping away the blood that splattered in the process. In a matter of seconds, I scanned through all the information transferred to my new body. Personality, knowledge, memories, physical condition, and no different from the original. I was Cyan Brofis, without a doubt. The coding in my artificial brain confirmed that I wasn't a fake, but the original. That said, my heartbeat sounded irregular. Or rather, my artificially created heart was beating with a different rhythm than what was listed in my specifications. Seems I can't transfer any additional emotions as part of my memory. I would have preferred to do away with all emotions, but that would just turn me into a flesh puppet. While the results were still successful, I wasn't too interested in emotions since I wasn't an emotional person to begin with. I like how they open like this because you're gonna become one when you fall in love with me. Hear me snapping? Snap, snap, snap. Fuck yeah, bitch. And then he's gonna end up dying and exploding and stabbing her or something because he's not gonna be able to get his emotion chip. Oh, dear God, this is gonna go badly. For 5 seconds you're like, hi, Cyan, look at you all topless and being all sexy. And like, oh yeah, you're gonna fall in love with me. And then bad things are gonna happen. And can't have nice things in this. Most importantly, it was a profound success. Still alive at 23 years old in 1 second. I had gone past 23 years of age. It was proof that it was possible to escape the foolish curse of death. My old body was 23 years old in 1 second. Yeah, but, I mean... Well, this is anticlimactic. The people lamented for so long that they must someday succumb to the curse. Out of boredom, I decided to take over my grandfather's and father's research, but it wasn't difficult at all. I was able to complete their research and put it into practical application within a few months. I couldn't imagine them devoting their whole lives to figuring out something so simple. You know what? Listen, bitch. But see, this goes back to, like, Zion being bored out of his fucking mind and lazy. It's like, he's just bored. He's like, whatever, I don't feel like it. But maybe now he'll research emotion things when he falls in love. It's just, he's too fucking smart for this shit. Salvation, my ass. It's just a way of extending life, that's all. Indeed. I'd merely survived my own experiment. This isn't the true answer to restoring life to the human body. And this is just a means of escape from death. I haven't won it all because of this. And this was boring, and I needed more. My newly created brain was telling me that I could attain greater heights. Which was why... absolutely stupid. There's no such thing as the curse of death. No god rules this world, and only human wisdom prevails, which can explain reason behind the unreasonable. So in order to prove that, I will get rid of my useless emotions and face this so-called curse. This boring extension of my life was simply to buy more time to conduct my research. That said, when I finally uncovered the truth, what emotion would arise in me? And now we're Cyan again. We were just him. Like, I think it's like other, but it's like, but you were Cyan the whole time, so now why are we going back? The wall clock told. I forced open my eyes after almost falling asleep with papers in my hand. That record. It was a recreation of when I used my own body to establish reliver technology. I can hardly call it a dream. After all, I had no real attachment to the record saved inside my mind. Okay, so that was the first time he did it, not like recently. Okay, alright. Sorry, my eyeball itches. Oh, like my eyelid. Okay, so I was wondering if that was like something like he just literally did it, but that was the first time he ever created. That was the first reliver technology. So now he's been doing this, interestingly, for like 60 more years. And like whatever he's trying to find, he hasn't figured out yet. For someone so smart, you're kind of stupid. I'm just kidding. I couldn't do half of this, obviously. I got up, triggering a landslide of papers that fell over several pieces of bread on the floor. Now then, back to work. Which also explains why it was other and not Cyan, because it was sort of like a memory/dream. I picked up a piece of bread and shoved it into my mouth before activating the system screen. On the screen were the autopsy results of whatever remained of Boro's body after it was recovered. I'd already confirmed that he had no backup data, but his physical attributes and abilities were far beyond what his body could bear. And this is much more interesting than those strange deaths. If only I could have used his body. And the thing is like, maybe we'll find out for certain, but they kind of make it seem like, God, look how beautiful the motherfucker is. But they make it seem like we were always like, oh, there's a body double, it's someone else, but it's not. It's probably a Lucas clone that Capucine was creating, and Lucas doesn't know that. I mean, I feel like they didn't specifically say that, but there was that part where it was like, Lucas A, the incorrect, the other Lucas or whatever, and it's like, but they didn't show you him, he still had the hood and everything, so it could just be random dude in a hood, or it could be an actual Lucas clone. But the other Lucas, or not quite Lucas, like, name kind of makes you feel like it was supposed to be a clone, but they didn't specifically tell you that. And maybe they didn't specifically tell you because we're going to find out in other routes, you know what I mean? But it's one of those, like, yeah, it's supposed to kind of, that's where you're supposed to go. Your, like, thought process, Anyway. It was taken away by the royal family so that they could make an example of him. I should have collected samples of his genes instead of just scanning his body to reference with my databank.
Those idiots only work efficiently at the worst possible times. Or maybe I was just out of luck.
Okay, hold on. Norton, I don't want a browser from you. Go away.
And that old bag's orphan is so unlucky that nearly every problem is being pinned on her. I crossed my legs, which again triggered an avalanche, and this time over my dirty lab coats.
And also I kind of forgot that Cyan and Salome hate each other, and I cannot wait to figure out why. Are they siblings? Were they lovers once? I don't want to know if they were lovers once. That's going to be fucking weird. Please don't tell me that. I don't want to know that I'm going to bang a man that banged my mom. You know what I mean? Like, that's weird. Please don't. And then I always don't like that. Like, you remind me of my dead girlfriend, or like, you remind me of my old girlfriend who happens to actually be your nun mom. Although, I mean, what kind of world is this? What kind of nun are you? Shame. This world could be different, but I'm just saying, if you're like a nun, I don't think you should be like banging the researcher over here. But like, you might not have always been a nun. I carefully watered the flowers in the garden, careful not to touch the lycorises. The dewdrops on the petals beautifully reflected the sunlight as the flowers did their best to reach the heavens. Among the flowers were a few that had their heads down. The flowers around here grow quite slowly. Maybe there isn't enough nutrition in the soil. I can probably ask Eve his opinion. I heard footsteps from outside the fence and looked up to see who it was. Cyan? Oh, it's a woman. My eyes met those of a woman who lived in the neighborhood, passing me by chance. Normally I would have run away before she got spooked by my presence, but... hello? Oh, hello. She responded quietly to my best effort at greeting her. She actually said hello. As I watched her take off at a brisk pace, I reflected on the changes that had happened around me recently. Clicking the Norton pop-up box has like made my volume get back up of being loud. You guys can't hear shit in the music though, can ya? Turn up just a teeny bit. Teeny bit for you, not too much. It's hard because this one's not super loud, but I also just don't want it to be like overbearing, and I can't remember. I had changed the settings, so I don't know what they are. It seemed my involvement in chasing after Boro had a great impact on the people of Coen. Many who had sought to exile me from the district were suddenly silent. In addition, the hateful glares I encountered had turned into people merely moving away from me. Hey, progress! They don't glare at you with hate or throw rocks at you. They're just like, oh. They just sneer at me now. I knew I should welcome the change in a positive manner, but unfortunately I also knew that these kinds of things didn't last long. That night, when I stopped you from committing suicide, I cast a certain spell over you. I was successful in suppressing your power as death for the time being, and that's the reason nothing bad has happened. Though luck does play a factor, your current circumstances are largely owed to me. But my power has its limits. Once the time comes, you will return to your form as death, and again bring demise to those around you. The peace I enjoyed now was given to me by the Watchman of Death. I had since returned to the same Lycoris field every so often, but hadn't managed to encounter him again. Once the effects of his spell wore off, I would return to being a source of misfortune to the orphanage and those around me. Enjoy it while it lasts! In any case, I didn't want to become a threat to Mother, Milo, or any of the children, now that things had finally started to settle. As I continued watering the plants, I wondered whether I should leave the orphanage before things went south. Miss Spacey, are you finished with the garden? And there's something I wanted to ask of you. Huh? Yes, I'm done. I quickly put on a smile and set down the watering can before hurrying over to Mother. I don't think we were done, but like, whatever. Do you need me to go to the marsh? No, just a delivery. I'd like you to deliver this letter to that bastard at the Institute. She's got a glare on her face, but I feel like I'd like you to deliver this letter to that bastard at the Institute. I'm not sure if she said it angry, but I like to imagine, even though she's like got the glare on her face, she's like, that bastard at the Institute. bastard! Look of disgust on Mother's face made me realize she was referring to Cyan. I cannot wait to find out what is going on with them. I was surprised to find out about your relationship with Cyan. What do you usually write to him about? I asked her casually as I accepted the letter. Nothing special, really. We simply exchange reports on how things are going based on his requests for information. After all, he rarely ever leaves that facility, let alone Cernival. He's ignorant about what's happening in the outside world. Now that you mention it, he did mistake Eve for Hugo when we first met him. He doesn't read the newspaper, so I hardly think he takes much interest in current events at all. Mother let out a deep sigh when suddenly, from behind her, can I go run the errand too? One of the girls at the orphanage shyly peeked out from behind Mother's long skirt. Oh my! How surprising! Were you hiding behind Mother all this time?
From the beginning, I wanted to talk to you, sis.
To me? Perhaps she wants to play with you now that you're smiling more often. If you don't mind, can you take her with you? The young girl nodded. This was another change that occurred after the series of incidents. I was very happy to see the young girl muster enough courage to voice her sweet request. I bent down a bit to reach her eye level. Cernival has lots of cars and people, so it's easy to get lost. I need you to stay right next to me. Can you promise me that?
Yep, I can do it, so let's go together. If anyone's mean to you or calls you names, I'll get mad at them.
The young girl spoke cheerfully and let go of Mother's skirt to grab my hand. Thank you, but that could be dangerous, so you can just talk to me about feeling mad, okay? I wanted to protect the girl who had been frightened of me for so long. I wasn't of much use now, but wasn't there anything I could do for her? We walked through Cheetahs to Cernival. It was filled with various medical centers, apothecaries, and clinics. There were some smaller research facilities in the area around which researchers with pale faces hurried about. On rare occasion, wow. Words. Reading. Not good. On rare occasions, larger vehicles carrying medicines and other materials for experiments also passed us. It seemed they were designed for load capacity rather than comfort, and were completely different from Mathis's car.
Wow, that huge thing's a car, right? I saw one in a book that Monsieur Proust showed us.
That's right. If it hits us, it'll hurt a lot, so we shouldn't get in its way.
Okay.
We're liver technology, but cars are like, wow, what's that? It's like seeing a space rocket. You're like, wow! I mean, to be fair, like, you know what a rocket ship looks like because you've seen them in, like, on TV and, like, if you've ever watched any shuttle launches or whatever. But, like, the chances of you, like, have you seen one in person? Do you go, like, not often. You know what I mean? If ever. Unless you go to, like, a museum or something, or Kennedy Space Center or whatever. But you know what I mean? But it's just so funny here. It's like, oh, a car! We don't have telephones. Some people have transmitters. Cars are kind of newfangled, but we can bring people back from the fucking dead, basically. We can clone your body. It's the weirdest shit here. While holding her hand, I arrived at the Institute for the first time in weeks.
Thank you very much.
We received... Oh, it's a guard. I saw it said Girl A, and I was like, wait a minute. Thank you very much. We received prior notice from the sender, so we'll promptly process the delivery. Thank you very much. As usual, the guard kept the conversation simple. I haven't seen Cyan since back then, so I was hoping I could at least say hi. Then again, I didn't have high expectations. Asking to deliver a letter in person to the recipient was likely prohibited. It really was a rarity to have a chance of seeing someone as important as Cyan.
Sis, look! The castle! Do the king and the prince really live inside?
Yes. For all you know, they may even be looking at you from the window right now. The young girl exclaimed innocently and waved her hand in the direction of the castle located behind the Institute. Oh, that was me, not her. I was gonna laugh like a kid. Just don't look up too high and lose your balance. I wasn't able to see Cyan, but seeing her so happy was more than worth the...
Huh?
Oh, it's the guard. Again, I keep seeing the G and the A. I just see the first and last. Huh? You mean her? Understood. Excuse me, one of the researchers has just contacted... I like that. Some random researcher dude has just contacted us. He asked that you please stay a while longer since he has something to discuss with you. Huh? With me? Maybe it's Dud. I haven't seen him in a while either. Girl, did you not pick up? He's like random guy. Like, come on. You know it's Cyan. I waited for Dahud as instructed when... Perfect, my boyfriend.
Huh, I knew it was you. Your blonde hair stands out even from a distance.
Cyan? I did want to see him, but I didn't expect he would actually leave the building in a sloth-like manner. Did they call him a sloth before, or is that just what I've been calling him? And the fact that... oh my god, okay, no. As I looked on in a stupor...
Is he your uncle?
Uncle? My face immediately went pale at her innocent question. But Cyan didn't seem concerned by how he was addressed. I mean, that makes this inappropriate, but alright.
Follow me.
With that, he quickly turned around and headed back inside. Could it be that he's inviting us into the Institute? She's like, wait, what? Yeah. I love it. The guard quickly produced 2 passes and gave them to us so we could chase after him. Meanwhile, Cyan's back in his lab like, where the fuck did they go? And we're like, did he mean us? And the guard's like, I don't know, man. Walking with Cyan was making us stand out even more. I could tell the staff members were giving us strange looks as we followed behind him. They're giving him straight. They're like, is that Cyan? Is he out of his office? The fuck? Did that man ever leave his office? I haven't seen him leave his office since like last July. Okay, so I was wondering, I was leaning forward staring at Sister Salome, being like, could they be siblings? I don't think their hair's the same color, and he's got, like, his eyes are, like, the same color as his hair. She's got purple eyes. I was, like, wondering, I'm like, wait a minute. I couldn't remember for some reason. I was like, Because, you know, like, when you saw, like, when we saw frickin' what's-her-face. Why do I want to call her Natalie? It's not her fucking name. Anyway. With Lucas, you were like, oh, that's your fucking sister, you know? Guys, my brain is broken. Anyway. Damn it. Why do I have to do this? I was mumbling something as we made our way down the corridor. He didn't reprimand us for following him, though through the research area, and... We finally arrived in front of his laboratory. I felt a tug on my sleeve.
This? I don't know why, but this room smells weird.
Huh? I took a cautious sniff. She's right. I smell something coming from inside. Cyan, are you experimenting with some medicine in here?
You'll find out soon enough.
It was clear from his tone that he didn't want to explain as he threw open the door. I have a child with me. Please don't have corpses in here. Behind the door was... Are you experimenting with some medicine? No, bro just doesn't know how to fucking clean. You need some Febreze, sweetie. Why am I in love with the slob? Jesus. We can't have 2 of us living in the same house being fucking messy and chaotic. Someone needs to not be nose blind. What the? A sea of decay. Just one look made me realize the source of the putrid smell. Is he going to ask us to clean for him? Because, oh my fucking god. This place smells worse than last time. It's not even just, like, it's the fact that the poor man probably, like, how did the funk not come off of him? Because God knows how many times he's showered, if he even has, in the how many days he hasn't slept in here. But, like, it's obviously the food smell, and it's just the smell of, like, a person just being locked in a room for, like, a week. You know what I mean? But, like, some Febreze and take a shower once in a while, and have someone take out your trash, bro. Jesus. Oh my god. Why am I in love with this fucking mess? I am. He is such a hot mess. Like, I don't know why I find it charming. In reality, oh dear god, no. I'm leaving your mother's basement, sweetie. I'm getting out of here, because you're never going to. But, like, for some reason, I'm just like, okay, whatever. Oh god. I wondered how long he had left the lab coats hanging over the sofa. Given that he was a researcher, it was fortunate that chemicals weren't strewn haphazardly around the place, but regardless, this place was a horrid mess.
That busybody Dahut usually keeps this room clean.
As if wanting to get to the point, Cyan crossed his arms. Dahut does it just because he can't handle your fucking chaos. Cyan, do you have a moment? I heard from some of our researchers that your room's become a biological hazard, so I came to help check it out. It's not as bad as they say, right? I mean, it was only recently I cleaned your room from corner to corner until it was all spick and span, remember? So there's no chance the place is back to being a garbage heap in just a few days, even with someone as sloppy as you, right?
I have no clue what you designate as being a garbage heap, so just take a look for yourself.
Fine. Coming in. I mean, it's one thing to be like a chaotic mess where there's books and things all over. It's the fact that there is like literal garbage and food rotting and your clothes are dirty and it stinks in here. That's a totally different thing. Like, your chaotic mess with your books all over and you're like, okay, it's a clutter mess, but I know it's an organized mess. That's fine. The organized chaos I can handle. Why is it stank though, bro? Cyan?
What? And now that you've had a look, get the hell out of...
I've been selflessly working to support your everyday wants and needs, but I have to admit I'm a bit ticked off right now. So I've decided I'm gonna leave this room as is for a while.
Huh?
You just breathe in your dust and crumbs until you appreciate how much I do for you. So long! Look how Dahut is like, I am going to fucking kill you. And he's like, you know what? I'm leaving. I quit. Bye.
What was that about? I never once forced him to clean this place before.
And now he's like, but I realize, but I'm not going to admit to him that I need him to clean up after me. I need Dahut to be my mom. Oh, God. Oh, what am I getting myself into?
And there you have it. The room has been in this condition for over a week now since Dahut stopped cleaning.
Which led to this less than desirable state. If Dahut were here, I would hug him and praise all of his hard work.
And the place being a little cluttered or dusty doesn't bother me, but it's come to a point where it's beginning to affect my work and sleep.
How about cleaning the place yourself?
What purpose is there in using precious mental and physical energy to clean a room that will only get dirty again?
I can't say that I don't subscribe to this. What's the point of dusting if the second I dust my table and put everything back, dust is right back there? What's the fucking point? Just leave it. But my rooms don't stink because I still at least clean my dishes and wash my clothes. But the dust, I'm with you on the dusting. I don't dust very often. Calling myself out here. Listen! Dusting is my least favorite. I have a lot of knickknacks and a lot of clutter, so it would take 6 years. By the time I was done with one room, I'd be like, it's dusty again. So literally, I'm with Cyan here. Sort of. You have a point, but you're saying its current state is affecting your work and your life.
Which is why I've brought you here to remedy the situation after seeing you from the window.
Which meant,
are you telling Sis to clean up your room even though you're the one who made it dirty?
I'm glad we brought the child.
Yeah, I would have asked Karun, but I recalled how you were better at taking care of the daily chores when we lived together.
Cyan responded matter-of-factly, not taking any offense at the innocent girl's question. I think it's very hard to offend this man. It was true that I was good at cleaning and enjoyed the process. I appreciate that, but I don't think it's a good idea for a commoner like me to be cleaning your room, Cyan. Perhaps it's better to have your custodians or some other staff here clean your room instead.
I refuse to invite anyone who may kill me into the place where I eat and sleep. However, a little girl poses no threat, and you can do the job adequately.
Oh, a little girl poses no threat and can do the job adequately. I'm a little girl? I mean, granted, I'm 18 and you're like 80, so I guess. But Jesus Christ, Grandpa, what the fuck? Don't Don't flash your booty to me. I'm sorry, I said hide it. Like, look at you pose. Look at your sassy little pose. Huh? Someone's after your life?
Never mind that. I want this room cleaned up in 2 hours. And that is an order. I don't mean I want it objectively clean. And just return it to the state of relatively messy that you saw before.
That's actually a lot harder to do than just cleaning. At that, Cyan tried to exit the room as though needing to return to work. At least tell me what I shouldn't touch, like paperwork or anything valuable?
Anything important is secured by the system. The only papers scattered around have already been shared with the relevant parties. And there's nothing here that cannot be seen. If you're confident you can sneak anything past our surveillance system and security guards, be my guest.
I would never do such a thing.
I see. And then hurry up and clean.
I love this man. He's such a douche. He is a beautiful, emotionless, chaotic, messy jackass. I'm here for this. Jesus. Cyan, put on some fucking glasses. That's all I need. Of course, he'd be like, no, I fixed my vision. I can't do that for other people, but I do it for myself. And with that, Cyan yawned and left the room. Please, God, I need a CG like we got with frickin' in Radiant Tale with the frickin' Zephora, where he's like, I'm just looking at papers and I got reading glasses on. And you're like, God damn, I just need this man at glasses. That's it. That's all. He is the perfect glasses asshole without the glasses. Just need the glasses, man. That would take him from 100 to like 120. Right? I guess there's no choice. I thought this room was filled with sensitive information, but...
Sounds fun! I'm gonna help you with the cleaning, too!
I need a kid like this in my life. You like cleaning? Sweet, have at it. Thank you. If you don't mind, could you help me sweep up the bits from the floor? I retrieved the cleaning tools that were in the corner of the room, no doubt prepared by Dahoud. He did say it was an order, so we'll just have to try our best. We're like, it's an order. I don't think you can order me around. Armed with the necessary equipment, I valiantly took on the most offensive areas and strange smells. My first thought was fear that I might break something valuable over the course of tidying up, but... wow, this room is going to be a real challenge. It was rare to come across a room as dirty as this. When I first laid eyes on it, it gave me the urge to clean, and now I was finally able to do so. Okay, she's insane! Oh my god, this room is a I can't wait to clean! Look, I get it, there are days where all of a sudden you're like, I just need to clean everything. Like, I get it. I don't get those very often. Like, once a decade or so, you're just like, I just have the urge to clean. You know, like, now I'm looking and I'm like, my TV console, like, I do have the urge to kind of dust it, but that'll pass. It'll be fine. I began picking up the lab coats from a pile nearby so I could get them out of the way. What are these? Strange-looking pieces fell to the floor. Some were solid colors, while others were multicolored with unusual patterns. Does she not know what a motherfucking puzzle is? Okay. We have reliver technology. We can clone a body and put everybody's memories and everything into said body. But telephones, cars, and puzzles are like, ooh, magic technology. I'm just saying, guys. The logic. I guess this is what Otome Kitten meant with, like, don't try to figure out the science. It gets weird. And this is part of it. Like, you don't know what a puzzle is? What the fuck?
There are lots of small colored things everywhere.
Really? At first glance, they look like broken scraps to be thrown out, but they're strangely thick and seem to have been made for some purpose. I cannot believe they don't know what a puzzle is. That is the most bonkers part of this. The most bonkers thing in this game is a puzzle is like, ooh, what's this magical technology? What the fuck? This is science room, so I guess they're important. We should keep them all to one side. They were really pretty, so if you find more, don't throw them away. Let's see. Can you put them in this empty basket here? They're a little dusty, so we can wipe them down later if we have time.
Okay.
Look at how beautiful we just made this room. 2 hours later, look at that. We have neat stacks of books. held my breath as he stood beside me.
A pass, I suppose.
Thank you very much. I regretted not having the time to clean every corner of the room, but we didn't break anything, so I'm glad we finished without any problems. I breathed a sigh of relief. I love the first part of this is us just cleaning Cyan's room.
Now, go make me a sandwich.
He didn't actually say that, but if you weren't looking, you thought for a hot second you expected him to have said it, didn't you? You were like, yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Hey, how about me, Uncle?
I can't. It's Cyan.
I helped Sis clean the room too. I want to hear you say I did a good job. The evaluation I gave was for the entirety of the work.
She looked up at Cyan with innocent eyes.
The valley? What? I don't know what that means. I helped clean up, so I want you to pat me on the head just like Mother. Why would I do anything that old witch does?
They sound serious. I really want to know what's going on. Are they secretly siblings? Are they siblings? That'd be great. We've already had well, actually, I'm just saying. I'm like, we already had a sibling pair, but that's not true. We've had several sibling pairs. Everybody's got a sibling. So, Adultface kind of our sibling. Air quotes around that. So, like, you know, an adopted kind of sibling. So I'm just saying, everybody's got a sibling. Eve, where's your sibling? Cyan? Sister Salome's actually your sister? That would be amazing. It would also be like, God, everybody's got a fucking sibling up in here. So, like, anyway. Cyan's rude words brought tears to her eyes. You're such a meanie. She swung her arms around and stomped the floor. He really is such a meanie, but, you know, that's why we love him. So. Now, it'll be all right. Cyan's just a big fat jackass. When we go back, I'm sure Mother will give you all the pats you... I tried my best to calm her down, reaching out to hold her when... Before I could react, her flailing arm struck an expensive-looking bracelet off the shelf and... Don't do it. Shit, she's gonna die. The bracelet fell, breaking into pieces, with the jewels scattering across the floor. Cyan just staring, blinking at us. Just blinking at us. I went pale, seeing Cyan silently looking at the floor. I'm so sorry. It's my fault, so... it's actually Cyan's fault for just not being like, yeah, okay, good job, kid. I'll pay whatever damages are due.
Don't look at me like I'm Boro or something. Who do you think I am? Like I would complain about some random gaudy bracelet being broken.
But it looked really expensive.
It was a piece that was shoved onto me by the royal family in one of our meetings, for the purpose of getting on my good side. I myself have no interest in collecting such tasteless trinkets.
Ryan firmly told me that there was no need for me to pay any damages. He actually stepped on what remained of the bracelet as if it were simply an object in his way. I see. Yeah, this is like showing just how absolutely emotionless he is. Instead of being like, oh, no, don't worry about it. It's okay. He's like, yeah, whatever. And it's like, oh, it's so cold. Definitely is emotionless. I'm surprised they couldn't tell you weren't interested in something like this, Cyan.
It shows how shallow those idiots are. Similar to the masses, they continue to replace their bodies when they feel tired or sick, abusing my reliver technology. But with what happened with Boro, those fools finally realized the danger of dying without having a proper backup. So they brazenly ordered me to increase the frequency of backups.
The reaction made sense to me. I can understand the royal family's urgency. Boro died, but if the other deaths were caused by some disease, then there's no way to prevent its spread.
And there's a limit to what can be done. I don't have time to spend with idiots who are only worried about their own well-being.
I seemed completely fed up with working with them, and I could only smile. By the way, are you sure it was okay to share that with me? I had my hands cupped over my companion's ears the moment I heard him say the word royal.
Of course not, though I will allow it this time. If you want, you could go ahead and share what I said to the people of Cohen so their support for the royal family plummets. But the consequences are on you. I won't defend you if you're arrested for treason.
That's a bold thing to say. I thought we had gotten closer after living together for a brief period, but no, Cyan's totally emotionless, remember? But he was already, it sounds like from his little flashback that he had when he first cloned himself, he's like, yeah, I got no emotions in here. I didn't have any to begin with. So, like, Cyan was known as a genius, and it wasn't surprising that he was a bit eccentric. A bit? Just a bit? Alright. I feel like he's gonna get even more eccentric as we go. The more I talked to him, the more I got the sense that he wasn't easy to understand. Yeah. But goddamn is he pretty to look at, so I don't even care. Later, he tossed me a pouch full of money, which I believed was a reward. Upon my catching the pouch, he promptly got his staff to come throw us out of the institute. Here's the money. Get her out. Chuck her out. Not like walk me out. Like, can you escort her out? Just throw them out. Yeah, okay. That makes sense for him. I didn't have a chance to speak to him properly. Next to me, the young girl tugged hard on my skirt.
I don't like that, Uncle. You worked so hard to make the room clean, but you didn't even say thank you. He's such a meanie.
Little girl, that's how I feel about my job. I worked so hard, and all I got was, okay, yeah, sure, fine, thanks. Don't feel appreciated either. Yes, saying thank you is very important. But he didn't get mad at us when his bracelet broke, right? Even if we didn't mean to break it, I think we're even, don't you? Don't you? Sorry. Why don't we let it go for now? She's like, I don't know. She's going to kick him in the shins the next time she sees him, and I kind of find that funny. I did my best to comfort her while wondering if I should tell her that the uncle was the famous founder of reliver technology. I continued to think about it as we made our way back. Mother's going to be like, what the fuck happened to you?
What? She actually picked them all up. I figured she was useful, but... she picked up all the puzzle pieces, so she must be even more useful.
Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Adolphe, I've never seen this outfit on you. I like it. And I'm sorry, non-mom. Could you be any hotter? Like, you don't get to be hot in a nun habit and then put on this sexy, like, nightie, okay? Like, what the fuck? She's like a fairy princess. This bitch just needs some wings. Like, what the hell? That should not be allowed. Ugh, Mother told me you were late. I came over because I was worried. That bastard really is a good-for-nothing. After dinner, when the children were all sound asleep, I had some tea with Mother and Adolphe, who was here to spend the night. I reported on my reunion with Cyan and the unexpected work I did at the Institute. That guy's a piece of work, but the fact that you listened to him is another problem. I know, right? I'm sorry, but even if he didn't order me, I probably would have cleaned his room, since it was dirty enough to cause health issues. Even if he got sick, he'd probably just change into a new body. He did have a point, since Cyan mentioned before that the body was just a vessel to house a brain and a heart. I guess Cyan is important enough to make as many backups as he wants. Indeed, far more often than the royal family, I'm sure. Mother seemed to speak coldly every time it was about Cyan. He managed to find a way to download memories and personalities into clones. He's the country's savior and a genius like no other. Without the reliver technology, the curse would have decimated the population. The country would have been completely destroyed by now, or at the very least, have only half the population it does. Whatever their intentions, I can see why the royal family would try to suck up to him. I'd like to suck up to him too. I mean, have you seen that man? He's hot. I'm still surprised I was able to clean his room. And just forget about that disaster. The room or Cyan, because disaster fits both of them. He's right. Apart from his intellect, there's nothing to trust about him. My only advice to you is to never get involved with Cyan or the royal family when they visit the Institute. Okay. But I want to fall in love with him. I don't think Cyan's really as bad as they say. He forgave us for breaking his bracelet and even paid me for cleaning his room. He didn't give a fuck that you broke his bracelet. That's a red flag. If he really was as bad as the others said, he would have acted as if my services were free and not paid me anything. But I didn't know exactly what he was thinking, so I couldn't refute their opinion of him. Still, he's the savior of the country who saved many lives from the curse of death. The way I saw him, he was gorgeous, and I just want to drool over him a little longer. I mean, he was the opposite of me, since I only caused death and misfortune. But I also want to stare at him and drool over him. Regardless of his personality, which is a little lacking, but again, his personality is a little bit of a bitch, but we like it. He was someone I thought was worthy of respect. As far as my chances of interacting with him, as I was getting ready for the day in my room, I heard an unusual sound outside. Cyan. Wondering who it could be, Mother Adolphe and I hurriedly went out to discover
A maiden of death. Me and my maid, starting today.
Adolphe's okay. Fuck? Huh? What? I responded a few seconds after them, but before I could react, Ryan walked from his large electric car toward me and grabbed my wrist as though to keep me from running. Huh? Confused, I kept looking back and forth between Cyan's face and my wrist.
Let's get going. I'll tell you how much you'll make back at the Institute.
With that, Cyan tugged on my arm to pull me into the back seat when... Let her go. Now. Adolphe intervened, placing his hand on the hilt of his sword.
What's the meaning of this?
I should say the same thing. How dare you try to abduct my foster sister in broad daylight?
I bet he's this protective of her because you raised him, you old hag. I came all the way out here with a lucrative job offer, and this is how I'm treated?
Not to just shove me in a car and drive off. Like, Cyan really doesn't know how to people, does he? I love it. He's kind of a robot. Job. Cyan let me go, then looked me over top to bottom.
You do remember that I let you clean my room yesterday, right?
Yes? Oh, wait, did I do something wrong back then?
On the contrary.
Seeing me tilt my head in confusion.
I'm actually quite pleased with how well you cleaned it. Which is why I want to hire you as my personal maid, to handle daily chores until Dothit's little tantrum ends. So how about it? I'll pay you more than I pay some of the staff at the Institute.
Damn, I'm gonna be making bank. Either that or those fuckers get paid nothing. Ryan confidently gave me his job offer. I like how all three of us are like, blink, 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 blink. Oh, Adolphe looks so mad. Look at his angry face. Damn. Really is hot when he's angry. That's the ridiculous reason for all of this. Adolphe looked weary upon hearing Cyan's unexpected explanation. So you're saying you want me to do the same work as before? Ooh, ask Adolphe's opinion, ask Mother's opinion. This is for Cyan. I feel like asking Mother's opinion would be worse because he hates her. For whatever reason. You know what I mean? But yeah, I feel like if you asked Adolphe's opinion, he'd be like, yeah, whatever. Like, Adolphe is not competition to Cyan. Cyan's not thinking that way right now. Anyway, but asking Mother, he'd be like, why are you asking that old hag? He has, like, no feelings for Adolphe. Or he's just neutral, but with Mother, he hates her. Oh, ask Mother's opinion! Well, shit! Alright, well. Doing bad at romance and Cyan already. I have work to do here, so I don't think I can work for you. Well, that makes sense, too. Ask Mother's opinion because this is my job here, so I should ask my current employer. She's right, and might I add, for someone in need of help, you had the nerve to treat her so poorly earlier. Okay, their hair color is kind of close to being the same. Their eye color is different, though. I mean, I'm trying to find... I mean, it's not really the same, but it's, like, close enough for me to be like...
It's only obvious since I'm of higher status as her employer. And I'm surprised to hear you say that. I still remember when you acted as though it were only natural for everyone to cater to your whims.
Oh, what? Was she ever like that? Oh! God, I need to know what's going on with the two of them. Wondered if he was referring to when Mother first opened the orphanage, or before. In any case, it seems Cyan was adamant about taking me back to his place. I mean, phrasing, game, okay.
If you still refuse, I suppose we'll need to reconsider that broken bracelet. Are you prepared to pay the full amount now?
Huh? Out of his pocket came a single invoice that I had never seen before. Blackmail! You're such a shady bastard. Love it. We all gasped when we saw the figure listed, which was more than enough for someone in Cohen to live a life of luxury for a few years. Pay? But you said yesterday it was fine.
I don't recall saying that, unless you have proof such as a voice recording or a written contract. And this amount's petty change to me, but for people who live in Cohen, I doubt you could pay it off, even if you saved for years.
Oh, just rub your fucking wealth in my face, you pretty rich bastard.
But if you work for me, then I can reduce this amount to something more palatable.
Why, you! Mother's face turned red with anger. I can't blame her now. He is being a douche, but I love it. God damn. Look at him. Look at he is so proud of himself right now. Look at his proud of himself face. She pulled her arm back as she approached Cyan when she was going to punch him. Calm down, Mother. You don't want to do that. Let me go, Adelphi. This bastard needs to know what pain is once in a while. Adelphi somehow grabbed her from behind before she could give him a good slap. Fuck, I would love to have seen that, though. Mother? I will not let you work for him! I cannot let my precious daughter work in a place where men like you and that corrupt royal family skulk around. Getting way more intriguing.
And then why don't you work in her place? I bet you can't. After all, you hate it more than anyone else in this country. You've been sending her in your place just to deliver those simple letters.
You think she was like a daughter of the royal family, like she's a princess or some shit?
It's appalling to hear you call yourself a guardian when you won't even do that much.
Silence filled the air. Damn. Adolphe still had Mother held back, so I stood silently next to Cyan. We weren't entirely sure what they were talking about, so we looked at each other to see if we could defuse the situation. Adolphe? Knowing Dawood, I doubt he'll stay away for long, so... It can't be helped. We both nodded at the same time. Spacey! You too, Adolphe! Aren't you worried about her going with him? Of course I am, but you're angry enough for all three of us, so I ended up calming down. It is true that it's my fault Cyan's property was broken, so it's only fair to work off the expense since I don't have much money. There you have it. What he said isn't unreasonable, though he could have worded it better. So, Mother, please try to relax. I don't know what happened between you two, but you seem to change whenever he's involved.
He's right. If you want to act tough, do it better.
You're not helping, so just shut up. Mother? Seeing that Mother remained silent, I spoke to her carefully. He's only asking me to do his daily chores and nothing more. I don't plan on getting involved in Cyan's work, nor do I think I'll ever see anyone from the royal family. In addition, I can't go into detail, but there's still a seed of budding flower that will bring more death to this land. Little you experienced thus far is merely the prologue. The mysterious deaths by suicide, the ruthless murders by force, slow encroaching death by this land's curse, and other deaths that have yet to be discovered. Sorry. Not one of them has been resolved. I hadn't seen him since, but if what he told me back then was true, there was a chance that something besides the curse would cause even more deaths. In particular, the suicide-like deaths had a chance of recurring, and the royal family was well aware of it, which was why they would probably contact Cyan the moment they learned something from the bodies they took away from him. In that sense, it might be for the best that I work close to him in case something happened. Look at her putting on her little Sherlock Holmes hat. Of course, I'm all right working for you as long as the rumors about me don't worry you.
What? We have to go through this again. I've said this before, but I don't believe some rumors about a human death. If you're so powerful, let me see you cause some death and destruction right now.
Can't you word yourself any better? We love Cyan. Look at that. I'm going to stop here. So, wow. So we're basically being like, Lord, we're always somebody's fucking maid, ain't we? Jesus. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.